Hello and welcome back to the Checkpoint Reach podcast and the Indie Corner game reviews. I'm your host Luke Eldon, and here we will take a look at indie game titles that we have recently played and we will review them as such. For these reviews I'm going to be joined by Sud. How you doing, mate?
Good. Yeah, very good. Look forward to this one.
Yeah, it should be fun. You got to play this game quite a bit as well, so we'll get into
I
that in
did.
a
Yeah.
second. As I mentioned, as the title suggests, the next game we'll be reviewing in this series is Blood Waves, which is developed and published by Sometimes You, who provided us with a review code, which was very nice of them. The game is available on PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. So, Sud, you were able to play this game on PS4. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah. First of all, the game is it's a wave-based zombie horde shooter. So we've seen this type of game before. You start off wave one with nothing really. You just start off with a pistol, and each wave is there's 10 zombies. But then after every wave, it goes up. So wave two will be 20, wave three 30, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure it lasts forever until you die. I'm pretty sure. I never obviously got to the end. I'm pretty sure there's no real end to it. But
Yeah.
I like the game because it's quite cool, really. Because at the end of every wave, you get to upgrade things and stuff like that. So there is a time where you get a little break and stuff like that. So it's not constantly, you're not sort of constantly having to look at the screen. You can take little breaks, stuff like that between waves, which I think is a nice touch.
Yeah, not being bombarded every second, I guess, on the game.
Yeah, yeah, which is a nice thing. But I suppose just go down the fundamentals of the game. Yeah, the shooting is. I'd say the shooting maybe could do with a little bit of work. I think the aiming can be a little bit off sometimes. It's quite hard to be accurate, I'd say, because obviously with these sort of games, you want to be aiming for the head, really. It's a typical sort of zombie thing in anything, isn't it? You want to be aiming for the head, but so that can feel a little bit off. I do like the over the shoulder viewpoint, which I think is a nice change, really, because a lot of the similar type games I've played in this genre are top down view. But this one's actually over the shoulder, which I found an interesting change.
Yeah, it gives a nice difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it works for the most part. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it works for the most part, I think. Um, Definitely a game I would say is probably best to play in bursts of maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe, 3 or 4 waves at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Especially later on, because it can get quite hectic. Some of the waves take quite a while the further on you get. So, as you can imagine, it increases by 10 each time, so it takes longer and longer, really. But
Yeah, I'm guessing the difficulty increases each time as a result. Or is
yeah,
there
I
a
mean,
set difficulty?
no, well, there is a set difficulty in terms of like you can't change the difficulty settings or anything. So,
Mm-hmm.
but the game, the zombies with each wave get stronger. There's obviously more of them. There's different types of zombies and stuff like that. I think I like the variety in the game with weapons and upgrades, especially. I think that's probably one of the strongest parts of the game, actually. What you can upgrade. Every wave you will get when you finish a wave, you'll get an upgrade token and a skill token. So you can only spend one at a time, though, which I kind of like because it means you have to be really tactical with how you use them because on some games you get maybe like 10 tokens at a time and you can spend them what you want. With this one, it is literally one token in each thing. So one upgrade and one skill per one.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have to be really careful with how you upgrade because you can get yourself into a corner if you sort of not upgrading things that maybe you should be.
God, yeah.
It's cool though. I really like the upgrade
I
system.
feel like I would fall into that trap and not upgrade
Yeah, I
correctly.
think. Well, what I would say is though, the only thing I'd say is it's a good game to experiment with in terms of you can start a game, maybe upgrade a few things, see what it's like. If you don't like it, maybe start a new game, upgrade something else. So there's a lot of variety there. With there's quite a bit of replayability with things like that because you can, you could, for example, because there's traps in the game which are really useful, and you could upgrade all the traps and set
Mm-hmm.
them up, and maybe not upgrade the guns so much and rely on the traps, things like that.
Yeah.
Or you could do the opposite. You could not really rely on the traps too much and upgrade all the weapons and see how that goes. So there's a lot. I think the balance really, what I found is trying to do a bit of a balance of both, like maybe upgrading 1 or 2 traps and upgrading 1 or 2 weapons.
Yeah.
I really like the traps. The traps especially are really good. There's different types. They've got like a flamethrower. There's a turret. There's this sort of zombie spinner thing, so it spins in the middle of the thing, and if you can lure the zombies to it, it kind of just crushes them all up, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I seen that.
Um,
I seen you use that
yeah,
actually when I seen watched you play on Twitch.
yeah, so that's quite a cool thing, I think.
I do have a question though. After watching on
Yeah.
Twitch, do you think a game mode like this, like a horde mode style of game, should include a co-op option?
Well, yeah, I think that's one of the disappointing things I'd say about this game. I kind of thought it might have some sort of co-op, because even though the game is fun single player, don't get me wrong, I think the game could definitely benefit from a co-op system. I think it'd be a lot of fun with one other person,
Hmm.
especially with tactics and stuff like that. I think you could really get creative with, say one person could like upgrade all the traps, and then the other person could say focus on the guns, and you'd have a nice balance there. Um, yeah, the game does kind of feel a little bit sparse in that regard. You kind of, as soon as you get into the menu, there is really only one option to start the game, and it just starts, and you start sort of in it. There's no real, the menus feel quite basic. There's no co-op system. There's no real leaderboards. There is the leaderboard with yourself. Like you can improve your score every time you play. So if you get to wave 10, you've got like say 40,000 points. Next time you might get to wave 12 and get 50,000 points. But I would have liked a more comprehensive leaderboard system. Another thing I'd say about the game where maybe they could improve is I think even though there's a decent amount of variety types of the zombies, you've got the normal zombies, you've got larger zombies that wield sort of machetes, you've got electric zombies, acid zombies, these bomber type zombies that have bombs on the head that you can blow up and they blow the whole, tons of zombies with them. I think it could have done I think it's more the behavior of the zombies I would have liked to have seen change a bit. I don't know if you noticed when you were watching maybe my playthrough, the zombies all kind of do the same thing. They kind of just all kind of come into one at you rather
Yeah.
than they don't try and like flank you or so that can be a little bit repetitive. And I think
AI
maybe
intelligence maybe could be
maybe they could work on that.
ramped up a bit.
I think they could work on that if they ever did sort of a sequel or anything. And also I've got to say I don't like saying it, but the frame rate as well at times was definitely hit or miss for me. I think sometimes it'd play smoothly for a few minutes and then I'd have maybe a couple of minutes where the frame rate went quite bad, especially when there's a lot of zombies on screen. So that's something that hindered my game experience a little bit.
Well, touching on them then, would you say the game's worth its price?
Well, yeah, the game retails for $7.99 on PSN, which is where I played it. It's a hard one to say because I think if you like these type of games, there's definitely a lot of enjoyment to be had in the game. I think the game's fun. It's a nice game to play. It's a nice game to play if you've got 30 minutes to if you've not got tons of time, but you've got like a little bit of time just to mess about on something for a while. I think it's good for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen other games in this genre with lower price points, and I would say $7.99 doesn't sound like a lot, but I think maybe they could have charged a little bit less for it, possibly. Yeah. But if you like these type of games, by all means, I think you'll get some enjoyment out of it, and I definitely recommend the game for fans of these horde type games or fans of of
this sort of genre.
Yeah, this sort of genre. So,
what would your overall score be then for the game?
I think I'd probably give the game a 6.5. Mm-hmm. Like there was definitely a lot of enjoyment to be had there. Like I said, I like the variety of the weaponry and upgrade system. I think that's the best part of the game, the upgrade system. The amount of weapons you can use, RPGs, flamethrowers, stuff like that. It's really cool. But I do think there's definitely some technical problems with the game. Like I said, the frame rate is an issue. Can get repetitive over long periods of playtime. The zombie behavior, I think, could be improved. And like you said, there could be a co-op system in there. So yeah. I think 6.5, I'd say, is a fair reflection of the game for me.
Yeah, not bumping it up to a 7 for the character looking a little bit like Lara Croft.
Yeah, I suppose that's a nice little touch. But character models are fairly basic in this game. But no, I think a 6.5 is a fair score for this one, based on my experience.
All right, well, that sounds good, and that covers our Blood Waves review. Remember to subscribe for more gaming content each week. Give our video a like and comment below with your opinions on Blood Waves or the review. You can also follow Checkpoint Reached podcast on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at ChetReachPod. And you can follow me and Sud on social media too if you want. Where can people find you, Sud?
You can find me on Twitter at David10Spud.
Lovely stuff. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Leld, LEL3Ds, add a 9 on the end for Instagram. And that concludes our Blood Waves review. Thanks for joining me, Sud. Have a good week, and we'll
Okay.
chat again soon. Bye.
Bye.